people not ask, like, you know, like how fake history sounds? Where, like, they tell stories about them, like they know about their personal life. It'll be like a biography. Like the dude that wrote it will, like, live with George Washington or something. They'll be like, George Washington liked to put pickles in between his toes at night so he would sleep better. And when he chopped the cherry tree down, he told the truth. But how do they know that? How does a biographer know that who didn't even live with George Washington? And isn't George Washington just painted? So you're telling me history is drawn up? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Resonant RAINMAN. I'm out here sitting, chilling on this bench a little bit, you know, getting some fresh air, enjoying what this life has to offer, which is sometimes just breathing and looking at the grass growing in this lake that no longer exists right here. But you know, hope everybody's having a good day. God bless, and God bless the lady at Valor Coffee that, you know, after I left the bathroom, she went in after me, and almost as quick as she went in, she quickly left. And you know, God bless her, because no woman should have to bear witness to the vileness, but Lord forgive me. How revealing these past 3 months have been, you know. I used to think I understood what wickedness was. And then this past 3 months have really exposed my eyes to it, opened my eyes. You know, I kind of asked for that, the eyes to hear, the eyes to see and the ears to hear. I said, you really learn about the way of the subtle knife. You know what I'm saying? This world moves by the way of the subtle knife. You know, there's wickedness that you don't see and you don't expect. It comes from all angles. Been really focusing on, you know, learning and being mindful of things like keeping your cards close to your chest. There's a fly on my finger. But, you know, keeping your cards close to your chest, you know, what does that mean? You know, that means things like not really revealing much about yourself, and kind of just watching more and listening. You can kind of learn a lot more about that way than just asking questions all the time, because I think everything reveals itself. Like, you can get all the answers without really asking questions if you just pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Because, I don't know, for some reason people don't like individuals like me, right? That, how I say, I don't really reveal too much about myself. Kind of, you know, mind my business. But for some reason, everybody wants to know about my business. For some reason, and I don't know, people start to hate you for that when you don't reveal yourself. And I'm the type, the more they try to find out, the more I gotta not say much, because I don't know, that's kind of weird to me. I don't know, I think people like that are very weird, and I don't think they have good intention, because a lot of those people like that, gossip runs their lips, you know what I'm saying? So I've been learning a lot about that the past 3 months, and really learning about how wolves move in sheep's clothing, you know what I'm saying? God, how much wisdom the Bible has. I sound like a Bible thumper, don't I? But how much wisdom that book has. And you know, I don't go to church. I'm really the person that used to be very anti, you know, God, anti-Bible. And let's just say, when you figure out what real life is, you know, like real life, everybody thinks they know what real life is, but when you figure out what real life is, the Bible starts to make more sense. Stay away from people, you know, the weirdos. I just want to know everything about your life and what you got going, so that they may tell everybody else the information they know. You know, I wish we lived in a world where it was just girls gossiping, you know what I'm saying? But we really live in a world where men kind of fall into that too and get trapped in that trap and kill themselves in that way. But I don't know, I guess that's none of my business. But I can't be mad at anybody. I don't hate anybody. I don't really take things. I just know I gotta keep my way, and I don't know. I'm the type, I don't think you have to see much to know a lot about people. So there's certain things that I only have to see once or twice, right? Where I can already guess how those people are and how they move, and it's not of my best interest.
But it is a true thing. You have to make sure that you're not surrounded by people that hate your guts.
And it's another topic, right? So, well, I saw something about Tony Ferguson, right? Where like he finally won a boxing match after getting brutally knocked out and beat up for like however many years, that he finally got that hit again. I was just thinking how demonic and soul trapping and how demonic, how soul trapping, how shackled the fight game is, you know? And honestly, how gate kept it is. Like, it's a gate. Like, MMA is a sport that's gate kept. And sorry, you know, I'm an MMA fighter too, you know? So I hate to admit this, but things that are gate kept and don't allow, you know, truth to flow through and let it truthfully be something and naturally flow means it is fake. You know what I'm saying? And people don't like to hear that. They're like, nah, you're just saying that because, you know, you don't got things going on for you yet, right? But it's like, that's not really the case. You know, you only got to know certain people, got to sign certain things and give certain things up to make it in a lot of things. And I don't know, it's very interesting because a lot of, you know, folklore and things, a lot of old sayings say, you know, that's how the devil moves. The devil moves through things like that. And I don't know, just really been realizing how fake all that stuff is. And I no longer sell my soul to it no more. There's no use in doing that. Like, think about it, it's the only thing where like they tell you like you gotta give up your life and sell everything for it, and you gotta live poorly and miserably until you make it. And that sounds like, then when you do make it, people are still miserable. And you know, nowadays in the UFC they're still poor. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fighters are still poor. So I think that sounds like a trap to me. But you know, I'm no longer, what is it? I'm no longer bound by those shackles. I'm no longer bound by those shackles in my brain. You know, I got free thoughts now. You know, free in things. Got a little Harriet Tubman in my brain. You know? Got a little Harriet Tubman in my brain. You know? A little Underground Railroad that set me free in my brain. Unshackling my thoughts. Making me free. You know about Harriet Tubman. Didn't she spy on Abraham Lincoln or something? Or something like that? She was like a spy or something for the military. You know, because the military has good intentions. And the history books are true for sure. You know, they don't make characters up in the history books. And like Harriet Tubman, like her acts were so good, right? And what she was teaching was so good that it moved people from one slave system into another slave system. And by God, probably a worse slave system. You know what I'm saying? Because at least back then, you know what I'm saying? At least back then you could see the shackles on your feet and hands and the fence you had to jump over to be free. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, you can't even see it, and it's all around you. And most of the people don't even know how trapped and enslaved they are. You know? Like, you know what I'm saying? How fake history is. But you know, that's a racist or something, I guess. Racist talking about shitting on historical figures that, you know, glorify people moving from one slave system to another. Now, they moved from like slavery into slavery, you know, where like they work in factories and, you know, only make like maybe half a penny an hour. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody just waits in line to take their kid to school. You know what I'm saying? And they glorify it. Like, kids are happy to go to school. The prison, the re-education camps, really. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm crazy for saying that. You know, when you wake up at 4:30 a.m. to take your kid to school. You know what I'm saying? But you forgot there's traffic. You gotta wait in line, so you gotta wake up at 3 a.m. now. But then you're still late. But then it's your fault. Like, you should have left earlier. Should have left earlier for traffic. You know? You should have left earlier for traffic, dude. Like, that's your fault. You don't got your life together because you didn't want to sell your soul to traffic and sit in it and die in it. You know, every moment you sit in traffic, you're dying. You know what I'm saying? Time goes by. Then they had to sit in school for 8 hours a day. Then you wonder why your daughter wants a penis now. Like, your daughter wants a penis now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no wonder kids are crazy nowadays. It all starts in the education systems. But anyways, back on topic. What? I was talking about Tony Ferguson and like how much people are a slave to fighting and all that, and honestly how lame it is. Like think about, like, you're so one-track mind and you're such a loser really that you don't know how to do anything else but fighting. So now you're just a prostitute. You know, you're prostituting yourself out for like pennies and like social media likes. You know what I'm saying? Then like people like glorify fighters just because they're fighters or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so dumb. Yeah, and I'm a fighter, and I never wanted that. Like, I always hated that, and it never made sense to me. It's like, why are you glorifying me? Like, I'm not paying anything for my family. You know what I'm saying? I'm just making $1,000, maybe, you know, at a local amateur fight. Then we glorify like old fighters or something, you know, that have nothing else going on in their life. You know, that's the equivalent of people that used to be in a kind of good band in their local small town, and they still talk about it in their like 30s, 40s, and 50s. You know what I'm saying? Fucking losers, dude. That's what losers do. And I don't know, just been blessed with the eyes to see it now, and kind of free myself. Not only kind of do it for fun, and you know, the most important thing is the freedom of me and my family. So whatever that happens, then if fighting happens along the way, then I do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm no longer selling my fucking life to it. Because what you have people like, they'll sell their life to it, right? And they'll never touch glory. They'll never touch glory. And they'll just be 30, like, you know, their whole life just trying to fight, and they're not going to make it. And they'll just do all that shit, just selling their soul. Then you have people like fucking, was it DDP, Driscus Du Plessis or something? That South African dude. The white guy that always says he's the real African. But what? He just does it by fucking accident. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at that dude's technique and stuff. Like, bro, he did it by accident. And someone that didn't even really care. Like, you look at how he talks about it, like, he doesn't even really care about it. Like, that's just, you know what I'm saying? So that means it's all, like, how you're supposed to pursue it is all a fucking lie. And you're sacrificing, like, think of that word. If you're sacrificing your life for that, that means you're willingly going into death. That you're willingly killing yourself. You know? But, you know, nobody likes to hear that because, you know, a lot of people that probably hear it, like, you know, they did that way. They sold their life to it, and they don't like hearing that, you know. But hopefully the smart ones are listening to what I'm saying, if it makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. And they're always like, you know, fighters like that, they're always like, especially the ones that won't give it up, right? The ones that never give up, it's like, they're like, nah, bro, I'm conquering something. Dude, I'm conquering myself. I gotta prove something to myself. Like, do you get how selfish and one-track minded that is? Am I just crazy for like thinking that? How dumb that is? That you're only focusing on yourself? That all you're talking about is yourself? Not like I'm sacrificing all this and doing all this to provide for someone else, like my family or something. But now you're just like on this thing, you know, this self-quest, like this self-journey you've been doing your whole life and have gotten nowhere with it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe change your mind up a little bit. You know, find wholesome things. Find things that are going to serve others so that it may serve yourself. So that it may be God's will. You know what I'm saying? But most don't get that. You know? Most are not going to get it. And to most, I'm just a dude that got mad at the game and like, I'm just mad and spitting furious. Like, no, I'm not mad at the game. It's just I realize how fucking soul trapping it is. The fight game's just wicked. You know what I'm saying? Because people make it this selfish sport, which I don't think it has to be a selfish sport at all. I don't believe that. I came from wrestling, right? So I know it's not true. Yeah, you had your individual tournaments, right? But it was a team effort. It still was a team effort. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff is not true. Then I don't know. I don't see any places around me that are really about what they say. You know what I'm saying? That really want to go somewhere. Like me, I've never had like an issue with like drama outside of things, right? Like outside of, I never cared about that. But for some reason, everybody else, at least where I'm at around here, they want to go somewhere, they want to be world champions, but like they let everything get in the way of that, and it completely dismantles whatever they got going constantly, and you always have to rev it back up, you know what I'm saying? And I never had those issues, and people were like, oh no, you're young, you don't get it, right? But dude, it's like, even the D2 college wrestling room I was in, right? Just D2 college wrestling, not even the pinnacle of it, there was never any BS, you know what I'm saying? It's just you came, you got your workout, you worked out hard, you know, you had your private sessions twice a week, team practice every day, you worked hard, you got in, you got out, then it was time for fun and stuff. There was no time for drama, you know what I'm saying? Because people, they don't really know what it takes to get to where you got to go, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody focuses just on the sport or whatever they're doing, whatever it's your job or something, they only focus on that. But there's a lot of things outside of what you're doing that will either help you or sabotage you, and it has nothing to do with MMA. It's complete, or it looks like it. On the surface, it looks like it has nothing to do with what you're doing and what you're pursuing. But there's a bunch of things, principalities, right, on that can either derail you or put you on the right track, and you have to be, that's why I've been very mindful of, you know, and mindful of the people that derail themselves, you know what I'm saying, so that I may not be derailed. Or also the past 3 months, how much I've been mindful of the things like, there's not really many people you can trust, like really trust. Like on the top of my head, there's only 2 people I know in my life I can really trust, right? And that's what, my girlfriend Nikki, right? You know, we got some news, but and my mother, right? Because those are the only people I know. Like if I came late at 2 a.m. from working, right, late 2 a.m. and working, they would be up cooking me something to eat if I was hungry, you know what I'm saying? And that says a lot, you know, that really does say a lot. And I'd rather have only those 2 people in my life, not saying they're the only ones, right? I would rather have those 2 people only in my life than a bunch of dirty, fucking scheming, conniving, gossiping, backstabbing individuals that don't mean what they say. You know what I'm saying? They can't live up to what they say, and it's impossible for them to, and they have not the eyes to see it. If you put it in front of them too and you showed them, right, they would see that, spit at it, and get mad at you for it. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll treat you like Jesus and put you on a fucking cross. You know what I'm saying? But you know, anyways, you know, I'm too young. I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm too young. I don't know what I'm talking about. But you know, enough of this atrocity and wickedness I'm talking about, and this negativity. You know, I've been practicing things like praying and really reading about the Jesus teachings. And what I found out is there's nothing a pastor says or what you read on the internet can really explain what Jesus teaches. You know what I'm saying? I can even say it in this video, because if I were to say it how I want to say it in this video, it would automatically, to most people, make everything I say nonsense to some people. You know what I'm saying? And you know, there's still a lot of things that Jesus says I don't get. You know what I'm saying? I guess what I've been learning is filling my thoughts with only good and wisdom, things that will serve me. Because you know, I'm the type, I have bad thoughts a lot. You know, I'm kind of hard on myself, and just like when I'm hard on myself and there's a bunch of bad thoughts and there's no room for good thoughts and only bad, you can switch that around the other way. You know what I'm saying? Like, fill it all with good thoughts so there's no room for the bad. You know what I'm saying? Because when you worry and you fear, right, you're literally praying for your own demise and your downfall without even knowing. You'll pray for your own demise and your own downfall. And I've been really being mindful of that, because I got a lot coming up on my plate. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot coming up on my plate. To do the things I want to do is going to require a lot of things, and you know, most of it's going to be the unseen. You know what I'm saying? And really delving deep into that, because that's the only thing that's going to pull me to the other side in the end. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Hope this video made sense, and I hope it if it helped you out, please leave a comment. Like this video, follow me on Instagram at RAINMAN_MMA, and this really helped you out, this video maybe, and it's positive to you, right? Share this to a friend, send it to a friend, then tell him to send it to a friend, then tell him to send it to a friend, then tell that friend to send it to Kevin Burig from 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Make sure to stay vigilant, you know what I'm saying? Because what? Now I'm gonna sound cringe, but some truth is that the devil's gonna stalk you like a hungry lion, you know what I'm saying, in the grass. You always got to be open and vigilant, keep your eyes peeled, because literally at any turn, at any moment, any second, he'll derail you, and it could be something that derail you for the rest of your life and you wouldn't even know it.